Greetings and welcome to MeMeP LLC, where body safety and confidence are essential to mental health. I'm MeMeP. Today, I'd like to talk to you parents about dating. And please understand the conversation is for fathers as well as mothers, well as whether you're teaching your son or your daughter. And a lot of times, parents will talk to or mother will talk to her daughters, but the conversation with her sons or escaped it, or they just make it real quick and say, you're not supposed to be touching. Well, let's see how it would be if you start talking to your children. And I don't care what age they are. Start trying to have conversations with them. Be repetitive. They want the keys to the car, they got to sit down and talk to you. They should understand and learn to respect that when you speak as a parent, you speak for their safety. And as a child, they should listen. And not just take that everything is for their convenience, for it's part of your teaching responsibility to prepare them for the world. Okay, let's start off about my book. My Body is a Sacrifice. It's talking about, in the beginning, about drugs. There's other things before, but today we're going to talk about drugs. Are you aware, parents, that children are starting to do drugs even in elementary school? It is a true fact. Contact your local school and ask them how about the reportings there have been. When you go to a parent-teachers conference, or some, you get online now, and with the school, you can talk to them via email and ask them how many incidents have they had reported. Contact the local police department and ask them, has there been any reportings of the school? Also, you can think that, well, the school said, well, the children were leaving. Well, that's part of the property. But I want to ask you parents to have a conversation about the drugs. Understand that your children are susceptible easily to these drugs as they have friends at school who is passing off candy or something, a brownie. Children like to share. But nowadays, sharing can be very dangerous. Also, parents, understand, are you the one that's making brownies at home and leaving them out and the children are taking some to school? Understanding there's a real threat to our children nowadays, where some parents are purposely making these items with marijuana in it and having their children taking them to the children. I speak real. It's a sad state, but let's understand it's real. Or of candy to the children. A lot of people use their own children to trap your child. And it could be even a family member or a neighbor, someone at the community center. I'm asking parents to pull your children in more of a relationship with you. Yes, they have time with their friends and things, but let it be more of a family bonding. So your input, your imprint makes a better print on their lives. For you are the educator. You are the first teacher they have. You're the one that they bond when you give them milk and hold them, and you want to protect them. So you have to think about things in this real lifetime that needs to be done for protection. You don't feed your child just any and everything. So don't let somebody else. You would be upset if your child had a peanut butter allergy, yet somebody gave them peanut butter. And they weren't thinking that peanut butter is made with peanuts. So we have to be careful and intentional. And what's wrong with showing your child some love? And you showing that child some love and entertaining your children and enjoying them. Cut back the TV. The TV don't need to be so much. It's taken away. Even when you're watching TV with your children, you're giving somebody else control over your child or what they see. How women are to dress. It's okay with you? Your 12-year-old daughter has got a blouse unbuttoned and people are able to see part of her breast? Is it okay with you that your 12-year-old got on some shorts and that is peekaboo in the back? Because that's what they're showing on TV. And they're saying that it's sexy. What's the first three letters of sexy? Sex. That's what they're selling. Sex. You understand your child is not yet ready for sex. They still need to develop in their mind and continue to let their body develop. Why I say this? Because I'm addressing it all that I can in this little script. If you deal with how your child dresses at a young age and how they put drugs into their body, you have more of an imprint chance, a delay. Or maybe they may start and realize this is not what they want because you've talked to them and helped them to understand. On TV, you have teenage children kissing with their tongue. Why have you not talked to your child about that? Have you called and talked to the health department about bringing your child down there? Some parents rush and take their daughters to Planned Parenthood. Some rush and take their sons to Planned Parenthood. The health department is free. Have the children go down there. Have them talk with people who deal with this stuff. Mothers, ever thought about taking your daughters when you go see your OBYGN or your family doctor and have them talk about disease and things? Freak your child out, but your child is getting somebody's impression that has dealt with the cases. They'll ask. There are some OBGYNs that ask, if the mother have a boyfriend? Is the children with their original father? And you may feel like they're talking about business that's another concern of theirs. They're warning you. How many young females come to them and find out they're pregnant or that they're having sex and the mother think there's a boyfriend or whatever and it's their own father, a stepfather, an older cousin, or a cousin the same age, but it's in the family. That's why doctors are now talking more to the mothers and to the fathers. I also want to ask you, your child is getting ready to date. Or, no, they're not ready for dating. Great! Start talking to them now. Start talking to them about what is expected. How about the conversation? How about the conversation your daughter or your son is on the phone talking to somebody? What is the conversation like? Oh, I like that dress you wore. Next time, unbutton it 2 more times. No, 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 no. You have to help your child learn how to have a conversation. To where, no, it doesn't have to be, oh, all we talk about is homework or what the teacher said. Ask them what's your favorite color, why that made your favorite color, what do you like to do? Somebody said they don't like to do anything. Do you like to go skating? Do you like to take walks? Are you setting boundaries with your children? When you first start to date, the young man or young female has to come here and I have to meet them. I have to know who you going out with. There's boundaries. Time of when you leave, time when you get back. Talking about boundaries, talk about the touch. See, the whole idea is what my body is a sacrifice is to have a conversation. Yes, it's starting at home for the security of safety and body in the home against any and everybody. Starting at home and it goes out. The education goes outward to how to interact with other people. In the parental instructor's guide to My Body as a Sacrifice, yes, the scenario in here talks about a family member. But also it talks in here about how things got awry when family members set somebody up that's supposed to be somebody that they care about. Have a conversation with your children about how when they go to these little get-togethers with their friends and things and little parties and things, be careful what they drink. They spike the alcohol. Tell your children to just sip a little bit. Pay attention to how their mind is beginning to change, or they begin to feel funny as their stomach begin to ache a little bit. Also, tell your children to be careful. Why not eat at home first? It's so bad nowadays. Why not eat at home before you go to the party? Want some little chips or something? Okay. Be careful. For the brownies and some of the candies, it's more than just marijuana in it. People are planting drugs to purposely get your children hooked on drugs. They use their own children to bait yours in. We can't keep them covered forever. We can't say you have to stay in the house until you get 18. But parents, that's your choice. But the children get out. They go to school. They be around friends. They may go to a store with a friend. And even in these rules that you're giving your children and you talking to them, like my body is a sacrifice, how they need the thing is about communicating and building that trust with you, which means sometimes you got to turn that TV down on a regular basis. TV promotes sex. There was 10 adults in here and I asked, I'd be surprised if one adult didn't answer that way. So why are you giving your children the opportunity to wear these clothing because everybody else is wearing them that promotes sexy? First three letters, sex. Your child's mind needs to develop before it starts thinking of that. Your mind needs to develop in a way to understand you're not yet ready for that. That shouldn't be the only thing on your mind. What's wrong with what I said? Wouldn't it be nice if we crushed that teenage pregnancy? And I'm not just talking about birth control pills. Do you know the percentage of people who die because of birth control pills? It has a warning on it. Blood clots, things of that nature. Have you been to the health department to get this information? As a parent, why not? Your daughter is 10, 11, 12. You need to have these conversations. The word need offend you? Shouldn't be. It's a requirement. You can say, well, I don't need to do that. That's your choice. But I only want to help you. Let someone help you, guide you through it. Listen to people whose children has grown, how successful they was able to do it, some of the mistakes they went through. Yes, your household is different. Every household is a little different and every child is different. Every child is an individual. But you want to help prep them. Want to go on a date? Hey, the parental and instructor's guide to My Body as a Sacrifice. Talk about a scenario in there about the family. Yes, we start with family because you can't just assume family won't do harm. The problem with this is it was not just one. One helped the other figure out how to do a trap. Talk to your children about that when they go out on dates. How one person they trust take them, but they're already in cahoots with other people to get your child to drink, to get your child to do other things, to take a joint, marijuana. They putting it to their mouths. Yet, unbeknownst to your child, but known by the other two, it's laced with something. And one of them got it from somebody else, an adult or another teenager. But the very advanced thing was, they gave that hoping to get your child mind onto that drug so they can start selling more drugs and put money in their pocket. There's people out there purposely destroying your family, seeking a family to destroy and smiling in your face. My whole thing is to warn family about keeping their children safe. And part of that is being very truthful to you. And then to tell you about some places you can go. Talk about dating. One way you can do things with your son or your daughter, take them to the health department. It's free. Let them talk to the doctors who have treated things. Let the doctor talk to them about how children think it's okay because they've seen it on TV where people meet and immediately they putting their tongue into each other's mouths. There's actors and actresses that does this. It's part of their livelihood as actors and actresses. Yeah, but let your child go down here to the health department and you be ready to hear it. How there's transmitted sexual diseases that affect the mouth. A young gentleman, a young lady, kissing multiple people, it's not a good sign. What's wrong with your child not kissing because they 12 or 13, 14, 15, and 16? And I do say males as well. Girls do get pregnant by the males. So fathers, why aren't you teaching your sons this? Mothers, why aren't you teaching your sons? Mothers gravitate towards the daughters. When I was growing up, it was a saying, well, because I used to tell my mom, why am I not allowed to date? And he allowed to date. And she said, boys don't bring home the babies. And I said, but boys the one that made the babies. She just told me, go sit down. And you just don't bring that up. Back in the old days, once they said it like that, you just left it alone. But it's a true story. Mothers, next time you're still young and you go visit your family doctor to get your pap smear or you go to your OBGYN, ask them, can you bring your young daughter? I think it should be at a certain age depending on her development, but understand children in schools hearing a lot more than what you think. And have her talk to them about some of the things they've seen and done and had to treat young ladies with. I heard on the news last year, hadn't heard of HIV and AIDS, so it's not that I thought it was totally dismissed, but I was surprised at how they said it was back on the rise, especially in the Black community. But they had these advertisements on here about these drugs. That's why they started bringing those back up. So people think that, you can take this and yes, it can prolong the life of someone who has HIV or AIDS. But the point is, why do you want to get in that category? Use the book, My Body is a Sacrifice, to start the conversation. Then go into the Parental and Instructor's Guide to My Body is a Sacrifice to continue the conversation, teaching your children how to date. And even if they're not dating, teaching them how to go over someone's house and not to trust that people don't have things there to hurt them. They need to be aware of what they're facing. But that's what the parent's job is to educate them in love and in patience and repetitive for the child to understand. I'm the author, Mimi P., where body safety and confidence are essential to mental health.